People who dare to call themselves gamers know who Zelda and Link are. They know that in every Legend of Zelda game there will be temples, there will be swordplay, there will be dungeons, and they know that the journey that lies ahead will be epic. However, as the Nintendo Wii nears the end of its life cycle, many of us worry that the latest entry to the Legend of Zelda series may have a trouble holding a flame to other action-adventure giants on today's market. So, is the 25-year-old tried and true formula that the Legend of Zelda series is based upon enough to make Skyward Sword worth dusting off our Wii for one last title? Or will it be the final nail in the coffin of a console well past its expiration date? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword begins on an island above the clouds named Skyloft. Local townsfolk speak of an ancient text that mentions a world beneath the clouds, only referred to as the surface. Each civilian of Skyloft has a unique bond with a large bird-like creature called a loftwing, which can be called to ride throughout the skies above the clouds. As is tradition in the Zelda series, the game follows the story of Link, a young man who finds himself embarking on a long journey where a tragic event befalls his childhood friend, Zelda. Fans of the franchise will notice that this is the first time we have ever seen Zelda without her princess title, and this is only the first of many extremely interesting differences that make Skyward Sword unique from the entire series. Other differences we learn before even leaving Skyloft. These include the fact that for the first time ever, Link is not left-handed, and that the name of his sword is different this time around. One of the first things that gamers will immediately notice is how absolutely gorgeous this game is. The unique art style seems to be a mixture between Wind Waker's cel shadowing and Twilight Princess's realistic elements, and provides us with a new light in which we have never seen a Legend of Zelda game, with facial expressions that demonstrate why even now voice acting can be extremely overrated. Despite the Wii being on the way out, Skyward Sword even takes the limitations of the console and uses them to its advantage. As Link travels, a visual filter transforms the background areas into what looks like an impressionistic painting. The detail-orientated art style of Skyward Sword works hand in hand with the new gameplay that allows the user to control exactly what direction and angle Link swings his sword. By requiring the Wii Motion Plus, controlling Link's sword is easy to learn, but it will take time to master. If you don't take this time early on in the game, you'll find yourself later flailing Link's sword around to get through areas. In fact, it's so accurate that throughout the entire game, you must learn how to become extremely precise with your sword, as certain enemy weaknesses alternate from one certain angle to the next. Each dungeon that Link comes across will utilise this game mechanic in such new and interesting ways that sometimes it can be confusing and difficult to wrap one's head around. One example of this is that each dungeon has a specially shaped key that must be rotated on a three-dimensional plane in a certain manner so it will fit into the keyhole. Most of these key puzzles are solved quite easily, otherwise it can take several minutes to figure out the correct positioning. As with most Zelda games, Skyward Sword contains 6 dungeons, 3 of which can be revisited later in the game as new tools provide Link with new ways of accessing previously blocked sections of old dungeons. Side quests and missions are highly prevalent in Skyward Sword, as you can spend hours riding around on your Loftwing, discovering new areas and minigames that unlock additional items that can help Link along his journey. Another new addition to the Zelda series are the new RPG elements. Tools such as your slingshot, bomb bags, shields and so on are upgradable by using collectible items dropped throughout the game. These items can be extremely difficult to find, as certain items only appear during certain areas of the game. Additionally, when speaking to other characters in the game, a conversation choice appears. These choices have no direct influence on the game itself, but they still provide some rather comical dialogues. With all of these changes to the game, one might think that Skyward Sword drifts too far away from the Legend of Zelda formula, but do not make this mistake. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is incredibly fun and is an amazing addition to the series. Despite being on the tail end of the Wii's life cycle, with beautiful graphics, stunning gameplay, and one of the most intriguing storylines to date in the Legend of Zelda series, any true fan of the series must not miss this game, as it will be talked about for years to come. We give The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword a perfect score of 5 out of 5. For our full detailed review, please check out justpushstart.com. This is Oliver East, signing out.